I have bought a 3-inch turbo back exhaust system for this VXR.
We wanted more power and noise out of the VXR, and this is why exhaust are so important with any build. Whether you're looking for performance gains or sound gains, or both in our case, exhaust systems are a vital aspect to any build. Manufacturers create quiet, cost-effective exhaust for their mass-produced cars as the majority of the general public demand these qualities. You and I, however, as not-so-logical thinking petrol heads, demand quite the opposite. A well-designed exhaust system can give you better performance as well as a tasty exhaust note. With turbo cars specifically, a fair amount of power can be gained with larger diameter systems, which is exactly what we have today. The VXR currently has a 2.5-inch Miltek catback exhaust system, which will be replaced today with a 3-inch Piper system. First step with fitting an exhaust, obviously, is getting the car up in the air. We are very fortunate today. Thanks to Kristan, we are down here at Gwent Recovery and Repairs, so we want to say a massive shout out. Whether you have an 850 brake horsepower Evo that needs modifying, or a diesel Mercedes that needs servicing, Gwent Recovery and Repairs have got you covered. So, yeah, first things first, let's get this thing up in the air.
Before we get up the air though, let's disconnect this lambda.
That's a very good point. Yeah, so on your exhaust to monitor the air fuel ratio. I can't even speak today. This is going to be an interesting video.
It's early for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it's still very cold outside. Yeah, the lambda sensor obviously needs to be unplugged. Fortunately on this, there's one thing they thought of, because the connector is there and the sensor's there.
Yeah, I think it's 2 sensors on here anyway, pre-clad. Because it's got 2 cats.
I'm not going to jinx it by saying it looks easy to get to, because we've done that in the past and it always goes. So, what a luxury this is. So, we need to get one of these for your garage.
I know. Imagine that.
Boy races with these skirts, but this is mounted lovely if I do say so myself. When working with exhaust, it's always beneficial to spray the nuts and bolts with a penetrating fluid. This makes things a lot easier when removing the system. Right, I just thought this is the first time we've actually been under this car properly. So hopefully there's rust I can mock you on.
Whoa, it's no MX-5.
I gotta be fair, cuz it looks pretty nice.
It does look quite solid, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's good. But anyway, back to the project in hand. So the exhaust system Kenny's gone for is a turbo back. So the turbo does not look fun to get to, but it's up there. That's where it starts. We are replacing the whole system.
We are. Yes. And as you can see, it's got the Miltek catback system on here at the moment.
Yep, that's what we mentioned. Obviously the cat there. Is it got?
Yeah, it's got 2 cats.
Oh, modern cars.
So, yeah.
So yeah, all of this is going to be replaced, and what I love about the VXR is because of the spare wheel, well, funky little turn there. So yeah, as nice as the exhaust is, and everyone raised about Miltek, the main thing for you was the size, wasn't it?
It's power. We need a 3-inch system for the power, so
otherwise we will be limited. So
yeah,
this is the type of stuff I am not looking forward to.
Yeah, well, get your gloves on.
I'm just a cameraman. And Kristan's here, we'll put Kristan to work as well. So.
Yeah.
Now comes the horrid part of removing the corroded nuts and bolts to hold the exhaust together. That's a horrible noise, isn't it?
The other one just come out no problem there. Yeah, this one, if it snaps, it snaps.
Now, we'd normally advise disconnecting the O2 sensors before removing the exhaust. Yeah, we didn't think after, did we?
That's easier. That's what you need, 4 people.
Yeah.
One over the camera.
I was going to say one behind the camera, the rest doing the work.
Yeah. Normal, that is.
The worst bolt of all was the one connecting the turbo to the downpipe. These were held together with a V-band clamp and what felt like the longest bolt in the world. But after a few cramped hands and some funky manoeuvring, the front end came out. Easy! After fully removing the front O2 sensor, it was on to removing the centre and rear section of the exhaust. I hate removing exhaust rubbers, but these weren't too bad. After trying to wrestle the rear end for a while, we decided to split the section to make removal a bit easier. That is the exhaust, completely off.
Yeah.
As far as exhausts go, let's be fair, I know most of it has been off recently or just put on recently, but it wasn't too bad of a job, was it?
I think the rubbers to get off were worse than the exhaust.
Yeah, so that was the worst part.
Yeah.
But as you can see, yep, it is now all off, all from the turbo, which is tucked up in there.
Yeah.
And we've now got the old and the new next to each other. So this is a really good comparison. You don't look
hell of
too
a
happy
difference there. No, I'm just saying there's a hell of a difference.
So, yeah, sorry. So the original, as we said, you've got a cat. I didn't actually realise this. You've got a cat there and a cat there.
Yeah, it's like a pre-cat which
I didn't know.
Yep.
And you've obviously got your big back box there. And as we said, Go on.
Sorry, if anybody wants a 2.5-inch Miltek catback, as you can see, this one is really, really clean and good, so it would be for sale.
It genuinely is.
It is.
The only reason we were saying on the way up that we're surprised how nice it sounds, especially if you're dailying it.
Oh,
Perfect tone with the odd pop and
If it
burble.
wasn't for power, I would have just kept it.
Yeah.
To be honest, because it was so nice to drive on the road. And
we wanted to be abysmal as well because you're not dailying anyway. That's what I wanted.
But
anyway.
I did like that. So
yeah.
But
on this one, we've got as opposed to the two very restrictive cats there, we've gone for a sports cat. I say we as if it's mine as well.
I know, you always do it. You always do it, it's fine.
I take credit.
Everyone knows.
And the now non-resonated one that you didn't want.
I was going to say, I have measured that already though for what we've cut out. Because I might put a resonator in it.
The beautiful thing is because of how it's designed, you've literally got a straight pipe there that we can get a normal, like a universal resonator in anyway.
Exactly.
Back box there going into the tips. And what I have noticed, obviously most VXRs run oval tips. That's more of a squared oval tip.
Oh, yeah.
And that's more round, which I think I prefer that.
I do like that, I got to be honest. That's another reason I wanted the Piper over the Cobra, because the Cobra is like sort of angled.
Yeah,
like
you've been doing a lot of research on it, stressing a lot of you trying to figure out what you want.
Yeah.
So, if it was my MX-5 or the Civic, I'd say we've got to do a YouTuber thing and start it with no manifold or whatever, but because of the O2 sensors, we don't want to kick up any
I don't want any problems yet. Yeah.
But yeah, now it's time to get that on there. Installation of the 3-inch exhaust started off very straightforward, with zero fitment or contact issues, until we got to the V-band clamp. This was incredibly fiddly and time consuming as it didn't seem to want to fit over the turbo side and downpipe connector. We later realised this would be an issue. We got the entire exhaust buttoned up, connected the O2 sensors and settled in for the all-exciting first startup.
Any engine management lights?
Nope. Inspection light.
Traction.
Inspection.
Oh, inspection, that's fine, it needs a service. But we got exhaust, so it doesn't matter. Exhaust before service.
Yeah.
Modifications
before maintenance.
Give it a little blip.
Yeah.
Does it say it sounds like it's blowing? Oh yeah, we have to put it in here, won't we? It's on that joint, is it? At the front.
The car went back up in the air so we could adjust the V-band clamp. Right, so second attempt. Yes, this is the real world. Stuff doesn't always go to plan. The downpipe is a V-band and it's so awkward to get to. We thought it was on, but looking back now.
I can see it from this side.
Can you?
Yeah. Let me just get the torch. I'm just going to have a look. I think it is on though. That's mad. We were saying no, you can't get it from there.
I asked him if there was access from the top. No, there's not. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's all on anyway. The V-band's actually on.
Yeah?
Yep.
Right, I'm going to go for first start then. Well, second start.
Still got to blow. Yeah. Still blowing like fuck.
Jesus. Right, so for like the third time, right, so the issue we were having, basically the flanges on the end, on the newer one, just did not match. So, Kristan Rory had the genius idea, right, they kind of just stole them off at us, ran off, and yeah, they've basically swapped the flanges, and in Rory's words, we heard the little dunk click into place, so fingers crossed, this should be, I friggin' hope so. Otherwise this car is going up in flames.
I said only one flames out the back.
Right, ready?
No.
No, I'm not, because I don't want to, yeah.
Take 36.
It's been more than that.
Woohoo!
Here you are. Come on.
Yeah, it's alright.
You freaking legend! Well, we can confirm straight away, it's definitely louder.
Oh, yes. So I said it was like, because it's so loud, I was like, is it blowing?
Yeah, I think, like you said, especially with it being cold start.
I seen a light on then and it went off. At least it's gone off.
Right, so we're going to get it back up in the air now, make sure it's not blowing at all, and then fingers crossed we're going to report back. Right, so as with any exhaust install, what you want to do is make sure you've got no leaking of gases, because not only is it very frustrating, it can affect your emissions and affect performance, but
we're all good.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, happy?
It's grumbly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a bit louder than when we came up here. Yeah, so Kenny was a bit paranoid on the cold start, bearing in mind it was a cold start, but now that the idle is settled, it definitely sounds like
sounds much better than it. It's definitely not blowing now.
No.
Ooh, okay, let's get it down.
Alright. But Did you? I'm
not sorry. I just
from the funny face.
No, I wasn't. No, God.
Before we get this thing out on the roads, I want to say again a massive thank you to Kristan and Rory at Gwent Recovery and Repairs. Not only for letting us use the ramp, we ran into a bit of an issue that if we were doing it in the garage, we would not have got this exhaust on. As I said, there was an issue with the flange. The boys saw we were in trouble, didn't even ask for help. They came up, took both pipes away, got them cutted and welded, so...
honestly, well, we couldn't have done it without them, and I don't know why. It's just like I preempted this was going to happen, like.
Yeah, we do everything in the garage, but
Yeah.
Kenny was adamant on this one, and I think that's what it was. He knew. So, like we said, guys, there's very few people I trust in my cars, but Kristan and Rory, Gwent Recovery, they're both petrol heads as well, which for me is a biggie, because you know they're going to look after your car.
Exactly, they're into tune-in as well, they're into modifications and normal fixes.
A personal thank you from us to you,
Big
Kristan
time.
and Rory. We really appreciate it, man. The pops are nuts. Wicked.
Banging like hell.
Oh, yes!
That sounds nuts.
I love how it's not Asbo bangs, but
No.
it's just pops. Wow.
See what it's like on the motorway now, but if it's not droney, then it's staying.
That is spot on, yeah. Considering, it's non-res at the moment, isn't it? So
Yes! Still popping and stuff, sorry.
I was going to say, we're sat at 70 mile an hour, and apart from the odd pop, the drone is what we were worried about, especially because of the resonator is no longer there, but I'm talking now, as I normally would, and you can definitely hear it, bearing in mind the back seats are down.
Yeah. I think it's definitely livable.
Yeah.
And like I said, them pops are just,
makes
it
it
sounds
work.
class. I'm not usually one for pops and bangs, especially artificial ones.
Yeah.
But it's just a normal pop every change gear.
It's not a pop and bang map, which is nice.
It's like, that's still not loud, that's
No,
fourth
that's
gear.
nuts. But the pops are class. That is the 3-inch exhaust fitted to the VXR.
Yeah, it's not quite right yet. We do need to make a couple of adjustments. It's a bit wonky. I want to put the pipe in a little bit more, don't we? So
just to perfect it a bit more. But overall, we were both afraid that without the res, it was going to be very boomy. But we're happy to report.
I think I can live with it.
I think it's loud, but it's not boomy at all. So once again, massive thanks to anyone involved in this. Because it did take a lot of...
Yeah, I'll say first of all, thanks for Bristol Motorworks for sorting the exhaust out. Like I said, yes, it needed a lot of work, but he done it very cheap for me. Thanks to Nathan Nash as well for sorting out the welding, the resonator, the flexi.
Yes.
And then once again, thanks to the boys at Gwent Recovery and Repairs.
Yeah.
Once again, couldn't have done it without them. And yeah, overall.
Like we always say, the support we get from you guys is amazing.
It's immense. And also, sorry, thanks to everyone else who offered the ramps.
Yeah.
You know,
that
like
was
I said,
amazing.
yeah, we used Kristan's 18 minutes from me, so
yeah,
it just made sense to go there.
It did, yeah. But that's the kickoff of the VXR build, and just from this alone now, we are so buzzing. The car's actually behind you now, and we're going to get stuck into another video, even though we are losing daylight.
It's about to go dark, but yeah, we just can't wait to get stuck into it.
Yeah, this is how excited we are just to bring you guys the cool content. So as always, guys, we really appreciate it more than ever. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We will see you in the next one.
The exhaust goes boom boom,
and yes, it does boom boom and boom.